my son.
You do?
Not in the human kind of ghost. No, not at all. But look up, my boy, and see a sky full of them.
Soldiers marching in the name of God, but where's your God when the mayhem starts? Combining food with thoughts for the brains that starve. The brave drowning in a pool of blood. Swords and shields clash in a battlefield. War cries drowned by the clash of steel. Sadistic artesian reels rolling in tens of thousands. Images unfolding a senseless violence. Embrace the sensation of pain. Stake a nation's claim with my face half covered in pain. Cauldrons of oil guarding the gates. Molded visions of Armageddons from the clouds ascended. Nuclear holocaust caused by outer heaven. Recover the boss's dentures. Domestic enemies in a paradise. Mankind's parasite. Pictures on bills couldn't prevent Fahrenheit. The war on terror's hype while you stare at light. Standing paralyzed. I strike like the fear when you were scared of flights. Your merit strife, I tear up mice. Burn to ash when you clash with the motherfucking seraph's might.
Whether the feather on the arrow on the quiver is small as a sparrow, or big will barrel like a river devour and hit you with deadly down in the narrowest sliver. This beast is the army, ghost resting in peace, just like Gandhi. Whether the feather on the arrow on the quiver is small as a sparrow, or big will barrel like a river devour and hit you with deadly down in the narrowest sliver. This beast is the army, ghost resting in peace, peace like Gandhi.
In front of a cage, hunting the age when it was made. Throw history like hand grenades. Which man still stand like over-granted slaves? Nuclear weapons for the open pamping stage. Fuck peace, we glad you hate. Rioting mask your face, drink flask and waves. Illuminated crusades generated attacks of face. Individualism stopped before indifference had to hate. Clapping hands, grab a fate. Full course meal with a lack of plate. Saturate in a basket of rusty nails. Train tracks busting rails. Over combustion fails. Cuss and exhales. Out the breath. Discusses with doubt of death. Counting countless heads, the dead on a mountain dread. Revolt over books, thousands read. Townsmen fled over the roundabout. Wolves howling in the moonlight to drown a cloud, while sleeping sheep count out loud.
Whether the feather on the arrow on the quiver is small as a sparrow, or big will barrel like a river devour and hit you with deadly down in the narrowest sliver. This beast is the army, ghost resting in peace, just like Gandhi. Whether the feather on the arrow on the quiver is small as a sparrow, or big will barrel like a river devour and hit you with deadly down in the narrowest sliver. This beast is the army, ghost resting in peace, peace like
hey,
Gandhi.
yo, the sensation of suffering, my sword cut and stings. Soul Reaper, blade like Ichigo, poetic Mercutio. Henceforth, stem wars, defense forms a wall. There's always a next round, it never end in a draw. All men have a flaw, the matador got you seeing red. Charging like a bullshit, you leave with a bleeding head. I seen the dead walking in a nuclear windstorm. No Akashic airplane, so goddamn my wings worn. Suffer from clutter, my mind's matrix is ships. A mystic who brought life to everything he painted. Literally, this sword drawn cut you physically. Defending oneself with beyond our abilities. Sit on a pond in tranquility, nursing a backstabbing. Exit a trance to heal self, now I'm back standing. Attack planning, prepared for mass scanning. Composed with alien samplers, I copped at a crash landing.
Whether the feather on the arrow on the quiver is small as a sparrow, or big will barrel like a river devour and hit you with deadly down in the narrowest sliver. This beast is the army, ghost resting in peace, just like Gandhi. Whether the feather on the arrow on the quiver is small as a sparrow, or big will barrel like a river devour and hit you with deadly down in the narrowest sliver. This beast is the army, ghost resting in peace, peace like
Trapped in
Gandhi.
an hourglass by man, oddly enough all I have is sand. Relatively calm, world in the palm of a collapsing hand. Statues dance, occasional light in the vast expanse. Exotic mass, a periodic flash on the synaptic branch. Leaping forward, see the forest for its many seeds. Astute vision, the fruition of a particular tree. The honesty leaves, but it's always extending its reach. Phantom darkness, standing guard as its siblings feed. Present and absent both for the photo potential feast. Beams of light fast approach that glow in essential need. The morning cometh fast as growth, not in the sense that it's seen. An abundance of maturation dictated beneath the scenes. Clouds part, despite this the light is somehow dark. Lit by shadow-bound thought, seeds proceed to tear the ground apart. Becoming trees that stretch out far. 1,000 petals splash what I imagine could drown sharks.
Whether the feather on the arrow on the quiver is small as a sparrow, or big will barrel like a river devour and hit you with deadly down in the narrowest sliver. This beast is the army, ghost resting in peace, just like Gandhi. Whether the feather on the arrow on the quiver is small as a sparrow, or big will barrel like a river devour and hit you with deadly down in the narrowest sliver. This beast is the army, rest in peace. Peace like Gandhi.
By the time the light from some stars get here,